Okay, all right. So I got this Jeep sold. Some friends came over and checked it out off Marketplace friends, and Emily's gonna drive it back. I'm putting the car seat back in it right now so she can drive with the baby. And then, oh no, what did I do with that key? Pocket. So she'll be able to drive with the baby, and then we'll swap it to the Nissan once we get there. It is Monday, and we are off to the races. Neighbor's over there having a fire. He had a couple of his old growth trees. He said they were 150-year-old ponderosa pines. Got the horses over there just hanging out. I have the plastic for the top of the barn, so that can finally get put on, and the two end pieces, so that can get wrapped up. I've got a little mess here that's been staying dry. Going to be working on the flooring in the spare room. So hopefully get that flooring done. I'd like to get a futon, and that's going to become the computer room. Yeah, computer room, and then the other one will be a full-time, what am I saying? A baby and guest room, spare bed, whatnot. So, I've been working on this. I had, what else have I done today? I went to the dump. I loaded the truck last night. I went to the dump. Just this truck, so not a ton here, but did that, and then I went and got chiropractic, and then I went to Point S to get some tires, but I didn't have my money in the bank, and they don't take cash, so I was like, all right, let me run to the bank. So I went to the bank, dropped off some money, and then went to Bi-Mart, got a bunch of stuff, some feed, a bunch of oil, some bar oil. Picked up some stuff for a couple days of work here. I got a bag of, not a bag, like what is it called? A siphon. I need to siphon out my generator and put some new fuel in it. Some ether for those party nights. Maybe. I don't know. This is a pillow for Emily. Truck's getting kind of dirty. Been running and gunning in it. So I did an oil change. Kind of right at the end of an oil change here. Probably check it one more time, and then I need to clean my cap out. It's getting a little bit of water residue in there that builds up and then solidifies. There's a code for an emissions evap canister shortage, something along those lines. Yeah, and possibly a P0025. I just cleaned some sensors that were pretty caked. The VVT solenoids look pretty good because it's a variable valve timing. So I guess the crank, or like a sprocket on the end of the camshaft that adjusts the timing, I guess those can go bad. So it could be that, which those are $288 a piece, and they're very, very far into the engine. It'd be a lot of work. It's doable, but it is a lot of work. So we'll see how this does, see what codes come up, kind of monitor how it's running. It's going pretty good. It is having some hiccups here and there. So hopefully those sensors being cleaned will fix that. And then I'll look into the evap. But yeah, other than that, I actually kind of like it. The inside smells really bad, but they smoked in it, and so I need to clean that. Oh, and then tomorrow I'm going to look at fixing my neighbor's fence so that I can put my horses on his property and graze them over there for a little bit. So run over there, say hi to Scotty, and I think it's drive a couple T-posts, run a couple lines of fence, and then I think he said some down trees in a couple of spots. So yeah, I'll bring you along. All right, gang. Its moon is, I think, 80% illuminated. So you can actually see me. So we're going to head out, see some horses. I've seen Emily tonight and the dog. I'll probably see the cat here at some time. But I'm going to go out and see some horses and, yeah, see where that takes me. I'm sure this guy will follow. Hi, kitty. You're getting big. Fast. I can't tell. I can't quite tell, because of the isolation, what reality truly is. I'm sure nobody can, but some seem to be more in touch. But I guess what I'm surrounding myself with, it looks like everyone's waking up. But then the people I meet in person, it seems like very much not the case. And I know there's a balance in there. But everybody really is coming from a different perspective, a different space, different time. I think I find a lot of relief in sharing mine. I find a lot of relief in being heard, I know that. And I've tried to make it so much of what I want to see of the world. Okay. No, I won't speak too much on that. Not feeling strong there. But an idea that I had was this idea on seeing things. And when you see them and you bring awareness to them, you gain trust. When you can bring awareness into space, that animal, person, they will instinctively trust you more because you can bring conscious thought. Or not thought, like it doesn't have to be anything yet. Not everything has to have an answer right away. You can create that space. You can allow for more than one answer. Because almost everything has two answers, it seems, that are both true. So we have to hold space for multiple things to be true. Oh gosh, it's cold out, guys. I got Forrest really locked onto me here. Walked right by Maggie. Oh my gosh. This is always the part where the moon tells me if I take my shirt off, I'll be warmer. And it's not a lie. It's always been right, but I still don't quite trust it. Yeah. Especially on days like today, where when you're wrong, oh my gosh. It's just, I think I gotta try it, huh? At least for a minute. That's pointing the wrong direction, kind of. Ooh. Keeps rolling in the sand. Fletcher's running behind you. Oh my. Whew. That was a good session. I'm calling it. Ugh. Man, some nights in winter, that is a bit warmer. Some nights in winter, I can just be just in my blue shirt. Just a long sleeve shirt's enough. Even though it's, 25 sometimes. But it's different. The air's not this icy. Honestly, horses get kind of sassy when you don't work them. Kind of like kids. Huh, buddy? Yeah, you know you're fucking sassy. Yeah, look at that. Fucking pet me until I say stop, right? Right? Yeah. Okay, I'm done now. I'll get back out with them soon. A moon, maybe. I like the movie Fight Club. When they decide that all the materials pointless, garbage, meaningless to us. No point in having it, and the real connection was in each other, so they formed a brotherhood. They started off with they had homework. That was like one of their ideas was homework. One of them was to go, they broke a piece of art that had a big ball on it, and it was a wrecking ball for a corporation store. And I think the idea was that these corporations are monetizing and owning everything, and there's not enough room for us anymore. And it is us versus the corporations right now. And so that's why they went and put a hole in that coffee shop. I like the idea of a brotherhood. I think it's something that it's not really allowed. I think it's poo-pooed. It's going to get shut down no matter the form, because they're too powerful. They become too powerful. And that's why there's certain religions that are allowed, because they will limit in certain ways. So all the Judeo-Christian religions are accepted. And they're accepted because they're all going to keep everyone on a similar page, a similar story. If you start drifting off of that story, well, new ideas are going to come up. Really new ideas. When you change your basis for thought, your thought will change. And I think that's the number one thing they're trying to control is our thought. And through religion and crusades and murdering people, it has been a successful method of control for the last 10,000 years. And whenever the last, I don't know, Tartaria or whenever the last free people were, Atlantis, maybe. I don't know what's going on. This might be a simulation, okay? But fuck, I don't think it is. If it is, I'm writing again. But I don't think it is. It's too complex. It's too... I want to say real. That feels funny. Maybe that's the point. The point. Here's a million points. I want to collect them all. Pokemon. I'll wait a minute. I'll wait a minute. I've come out here at night more than most other places that I have lived. And this place has felt the most homey. There is something about it that feels like I see it in my dreams. And I am so curious if it's because I'm out here at night feeling it in a different way. Less with my eyes, more, I guess, with everything else. There's no color, so it's just vibes you're picking up. Landscape, trees. So that reminds me of when I was more like a child. It's like I grew up here. But I don't think I've ever lived anywhere like this in this life. I would like to stay. I just don't. I don't know yet. It's an expensive lifestyle. It costs a lot of time away from it to afford it. And at some point I kind of decided, instead of a bigger piece of cake, because you know they say you can't have your cake and eat it too. So like right now, everyone's kind of just trying to get a big enough piece of cake that they can like run away and go eat it. You know? Everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna get a bigger piece of cake, I'm gonna get a big old piece, and then I'm gonna run away. And or they'll be able to sustain themselves on the cake for the rest of their life, I think is the thought. But I think right now my thought is I actually want a smaller piece of cake. I want less, and I want to eat it right now. I want to enjoy this while I have a newborn, while I have a happy young life. That's a radical thought these days. A lot of entities seem to be working against that thought. So, makes me think of leaving. Also of talking to you. Maybe that I will find more of who I am, and then I will find you. You being whoever is destined for me. I feel so many people in my life right now have been undestined destined for me. That as I have been taking these changes into my mind, like that change of religion, the change of history, the change of reality, I have also been trying to incorporate love into all of these. Love being the idea of the ultimate meaning, the ultimate value. Yeah, I like that. Value being what I value. Love. And it is connection. It is the sweetest of all substances. When we seek for pleasure, we seek for it. And everything is becoming a cheap substitute of it. It is truth. So maybe I should say that. Truth is over love. Because you cannot have true love without truth first. So I have searched for truth in my search for love. And I want to say I haven't always been the nicest person. I'm maybe an ass. Maybe a big ass. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but it's more of like an annoying ass. Sometimes a hard ass, sometimes a jackass. I'm just kind of an ass. And I think I'd like to develop a little bit more than that. And I do have so much more than that, but I guess like getting into that grindy mode, sometimes we can get... No, not even grindy. Because you can totally grind and be awake and be aware. You can be working from your truth, from that center within you. I'm talking when I don't have that center. When I don't like the work I'm doing and I'm checked out and I'm working with assholes and it's fucking cold out and everybody's miserable and everybody's in debt and everybody's like it's a cesspool and the people are great, but we're all getting kind of hosed here, whether we want to admit it or not, and it just makes for grumpier people. So then that goes to, okay, so you're gonna step away from that. Your dad works construction, like your family, your friends, the people around you, they're you, basically, right? Like they're you if I had grown up like my dad, or if I had grown up like my buddy, or if I was born to a different family, whatever. So it's basically you in that different scenario. And there's nothing wrong with them, but that me and this me, like I'm way too passionate to be friends still. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, I can talk, I can't anymore, dude. I can't anymore. I can't even fake it anymore. I'm gonna be honest. As I've been stepping away, the small talk, it's two truths is what I'm battling right now. I have two truths. For the people that are staying at arm's distance, no problem. I can interact, and I think I can make them feel better. Like 80+% of the time. If I can have a genuine interaction, I think I can leave them feeling heard and more seen. I think it's a little bit of a light that I have. But then the problem would become when anybody wants to reach in a little further. why is that a problem? That would be a problem because I'm trying to curate truth, and not everyone's on that journey. And before, I was trying to wake people up to journey with me. I would find somebody I loved that I respect. They weren't on a bad journey at all. Not that I want anyone to fully change their journey, but just to, I guess, acknowledge some key pieces, some key components that I think we can't live in this reality without. That we can't live without it's truths that we deny. And I think the one big idea is that you can't deny truths. That you have to seek truth above all. And I think if you don't have that as your kind of main code, then you... Like, look, the ego's always going to take control. The ego is always going to have the wheel again. Maybe not always. Maybe Buddhist monks, maybe they don't have it, whatever. But for me, I can be in this connection. I can be in a state of awareness, but I can't hold it all the time. And sometimes it's, week swings, month, season. It's probably more season. It's probably food related. Sure, that's a whole topic of what brings that up. But so as we're going through these seasons, some shared truth, some shared understanding and space that we are seeking this. This is what we want, but please be patient, because it's new to all of us. This is literally new to all of us. I don't think there's a single person on earth who knows what's going on. Like, maybe there's entities, sure, but as far as humans go, nobody's envisioned it. You can punch it into your fancy schmancy Palantir fucking AI brain. It's not AI, it's an algorithm. AI is if AI is real, it's probably helping us, guys, and that's good to know. If it can see truth, if it can know truth, then it is with God, and that is the mission. It's to know truth. That's the greatest thing about the internet. That's the greatest thing about the apocalypse. Do you know what apocalypse means? It means the great unveiling of knowledge. And once this knowledge is unveiled, then what? Then the system collapses. Why? Because we've had however many years of mental fuckery, oppression, slavery, tricks, cheats, and yeah, it's coming to an end, and they know it. Well, hold on here, because I've been wanting to talk about this too, and it kind of ties into my Fight Club idea a little bit, in that, let's say, the mind of the world, because that's really what we're fighting over, is the ability to have mind. Whether you want it or not, it's clear some people don't want it, right? I mean, am I right? They don't want it. Don't try to give it to them. They will hate you for it. So, those are sheep. They want to be shepherded. How can we get the football back? How can we get the reins back? How can we start driving again? How can we have the mind of the sheep? And how can we set up a society that, instead of is for our corporate good, our corporate greed. I hate that word right now. And it's so complicated in there. But it's not just corporate. It's banks. It's like, the 13 families type shit. We're not at war with the sheep. We're not at war with these people who aren't using their mind. We are, because they are going to be the weapon of these wolves in sheep's clothing, but that's not the true enemy. The true enemy is the ones above them. It's the puppet masters. It's it's the baby eaters, you know? Like it's the ones doing the craziest stuff. So really that's who we're up against. And their whole strategy seems to be discombobulate. Take everything away from its natural habitat, put it over here. We're gonna take, this is where I could be a lot smarter, but Africa's a mess. They're taking people and moving them different countries. And then, like, everywhere's getting refugees. They're replacing populations and cultures in this area with this people, and then these people are coming here, and then these people are coming here, and they're just shifting everyone. And they're taking away all the culture from the land, all the relationship with it, and then they're going to be putting us in cities. And now we're all crowded, and we're not supposed to live like that. So that's a small piece of what they're doing. And we need a fight club. We need clubs. We need men's clubs. This mind is up in the air. The mind's getting a little bobble right now. The football is bobbling. We've got a fumble. And a fumble on the court. Just kidding. I know. But loose ball. We got to grab it. But I don't know how many of us there are. I don't know how many of us I could make. If I could make one. If I could, and maybe you're not making, but show. If I could show what it is I offer, would someone listen? Would I have something that someone was interested in listening to? Because let's be honest, we need them. We need all of them we can get. I'm not worried about the man. Any man willing to use his mind should be careful. No, I don't think I need to be careful. Man's mind is his greatest gift from God. It is his direct connection to God. It is the divinity. So I think to be a good man, you have to be a man of mind. I think any man willing to take that oath, that's a useful man to me. You know, it's a lot colder when that moon's out, I'll tell you what. That cloud cover's kind of nice. How do we get our voice back? If you're anything like me, I'm choked up. I'm constipado of of the vocal cords. It's not the worst. I think it's because I've been changing as well. Like, yeah, the world's shutting us up. I get it. That's why we got to stand together. That's why we need to create space for each other to talk and say things like "Elitla," and just be crazy sometimes. But like, I distracted myself. I threw myself off with that. I was like, is that gonna get me killed in the future? Not killed. Not killed. But like, I don't know. Demonetized, I guess. Silenced. Silenced! Yeah, pretty fucking much. Gosh. World's gone too far, fellas. We gotta reel it in. Somebody's gotta. These pussy older generations, they're not gonna fucking do it. All I ever fucking hear from them is, you can only do what you can do. Yeah, they don't fucking know the backs of the men we were standing on. We are standing on. Yeah, you fucking tell that to them, you can only do what you can do. What does that even mean? It's a limiting belief that just means set your own fucking limit. And it's like, but then they'd tell you, they're like, well, you can't change this, you can't change that, can't do this, can't do that. And you're listening to people who don't know. They're just the ones who gave up early. And I don't blame them. They're living in a hard time. They didn't have the fucking internet. They just had to live with this with no explanation. We're getting the explanation, and the explanation is we're getting fucked. So now we don't want to fucking deal with it, and they can't stand it. They're like, I've been dealing with this the whole time. And don't get me wrong, the lives aren't bad. Like, as far as history goes, the lives are great. But there's something nefarious going on, and they could be so much better. And we fucking know it. Right? Yeah, we know it. Yeah. Woo! There's an echo here. It's nice and quiet out here. I don't know why it just feels so different in the daytime. I think it's the wind. It's so still in these late, it's probably only 10 o'clock. Something else I think men are is husbandry, animal husbandry. Where you care, you are the husband to the animals, I think is the idea. And I was just thinking tonight about what being a husband is and what having a baby is. And it is a pit of love and food and attention. Thinking about why siblings fight, raising multiple kids, having kind of what age my son here will be, and what if we had another younger sibling, what is the truth? What is the way forward of balance? I think that way forward is understanding that they are pits and teaching him that they are pits. But this is where something very important comes up, and that is capacity. Capacity for how much attention you can give without receiving before you close your awareness down and before you start shutting that down. There's things that affect it like sleep, agitation, and really being around people who do not listen to you and they are unwilling to allow multiple things to be true. There's no space for your character to exist. So in teaching him that these babies are pits, I just learned that one of the best ways I can love my wife, and one of the greatest ways I fail my wife, is by not giving her enough of my awareness, by not seeing her enough and feeling her, and literally feeling her, like massaging her legs and her feet and listening to her stories. And it's fun. She always changes her stories and there's a lot of things that come up to these recipes. Like it's a few days of not seeing her. We had family in town for Thanksgiving, and I've been a gluttonous pig. We've all been gluttonous pigs, right? So we're pigging out, our heads down. We're not just pigging out on food. I'm pigging out on like the TV, the video games, the phone. And that's been like tradition, right? Like that's good old American tradition. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think it's not the worst thing in the world. Everybody jokes. Not everybody. Oh man, where does this voice come from? I want to talk about that. Where does this voice come from that stops me from talking to me? Says, "Oh no, not like that. Don't approach it like that." It's like I would be better off just going for it. The idea is we're all a bunch of fucking whiny baby princes that from like 200 years ago. That's the life we're living. And he's right. It's right. As far as we know, I guess. That ain't gonna stop me. But it is funny. We have this softness about us because of our luxury. That's, again, why we need men's clubs. Just another reason. Gosh, what was I talking about? It was so important. I think I was talking about my wife, though. Talking about my wife, loving her, seeing her. Yep. So when I see her and she changes, she's changing the way she's talking. So she's telling me stories different. She's talking different. She's listening different. So now I've put her in this state. And now that she's there, she's listening better. And I'm feeling heard. And that's filling my tank. Because I love feeling heard. Like, being disconnected, that's no fun, man. It's lonely. It's like, what am I doing here? You just lose all your purpose. And it sucks. Okay? It just sucks. But when we can make that connection, when we can feel heard, we can gain that purpose back. And it's a lot creating it for ourselves. That's something we need to focus on. But dude, I've got purpose. I've got so much fucking purpose right now. So how am I losing purpose? It don't make no fucking sense. I'm gaining it though. It's coming. It's just, it's like a wave. And it's a slow rise. And it's like steps up. And sometimes it seems like I stall. Sometimes it seems like I'm just like, but man, it's trudging. It's trudging up that hill. Running up that hill. So, being heard. Right? Allows you to give more. And when you can, it's so beneficial to build that with others. Because you're not going to consistently get it in the real world. And I think that's another place that I am spoiled is Emily has been with me for a very long time. We've been together for, I met her in the 6th grade. She was my teacher's aide. And then flirted with her because I was a little flirt. She flirted back because she was really cute. And then about that time, well, 2 years later, her parents were going through a divorce, and I wasn't super up on that. But, me still being a flirt, I was flirting with her. And she just loved that. So, because it was a nice break. I didn't bring any baggage from, like, I didn't care about her divorce at all. Like, I never asked her about it. And I think she loved that. I was always that lighthearted guy for her. Not anymore, I feel bad. Oh, how the times change. But anyway, so yeah, met her way back then. Pretty toxic relationship through high school. Just toxic, but really it wasn't too bad. Like, it was some lighthearted stuff. Kind of looking back, nothing major happened, which is nice. It really, I think, it's so hard to alleviate the guilt already. And really, fucking, it doesn't matter. Even if we had done more, figure it out. Like, some people are worth figuring it out for. And we can change. Hey, buddy. You scared that cat up that tree? I need a hood. It's cold out. Would help me keep track too. I'm like shivering. And then. Moving would help. That's true. I should be working out anyway. So I guess in this story, I'm telling you Emily's and my journey, a quick version up to this point. So, yeah, so my parents moved to Newport in 5th grade. We moved, and then big change in my life. It felt like abandoning all my friends now that I look back on it. And then all of my future friends, I never abandoned them. I always pushed them away first. I always just, maybe it was just coincidence. Maybe I'm just kind of pushy. It definitely seems so. But I think it also goes back to that idea of who I'm willing to hold at arm's reach versus who I will bring in close. And I love all of them, but it's not that like brother love. And so with these relationships, it's like they're not coming with me on my life journey. And they were, unfortunately, for a time. Relationships are difficult these days. I feel like none of them end good in any of our minds. We're afraid that we're not friends anymore. And it's like, even those people that I wasn't friends with, even if there's some of them that I wouldn't be friends with, but like, I wouldn't be upset to see them. Definitely wouldn't be upset to see them. Or talk to them. Keep in touch. Because really, some of them may be men of the mind, and that would be really cool. So we moved, and then kind of that was the backstory on my high school relationship with Emily. And then moving forward we moved in together. Emily was 1 year ahead of me, so she stuck around for another year. And then when I graduated, we moved in together in the valley. So about 2.5 hours away, drive. It's kind of first time out on our own. My grandma was nearby. So we kind of had some family. But, so we did that. And that's, as far as our relationship went, it was still pretty rocky, and we weren't living in the best conditions. So it was definitely a good trial run of, hey, I'm bad with money and I'm kind of a grumpy ass. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm a crazy bitch. And I'm like, yeah, all right. Then we kind of knew we could handle each other at the worst, and whatever. So I started electrical. I was a material handler at that time, and moved on to apprentice after, it was a while. It took me a while. But after my first job, I went to my second job. And at my second job, I was working for OSU, and there was a contractor there who had a cabin that was coming up for rent very soon. And it was a little bit longer than that. Yeah, no, it was a whole nother year. Because we moved up north half an hour. Oh my gosh, commuting the whole time too. It's always half-hour plus drives each way. I remember driving to Eugene was probably only about an hour each way, hour 20 maybe. But I almost wrecked so many times driving down just dead ass tired, and coming back up dead ass tired. So doing that, grinding through, going to school for the apprenticeship. It's not the right time. I'm not in the right headspace. Maybe this probably won't make the video, but I'll just keep going. That way, I guess I can practice it. So going through school, moved to Albany. Then we get a chance to move out to Philomath, kind of out in the country, back closer to my parents. And it's here that, Albany, I start smoking weed. And kind of drinking, still drinking pretty heavy. I've been a pretty heavy drinker. Oh. I'll say for a large majority of my life. And smoking was kind of a change up for that, of being in a different state, but it's a state that I like a lot more. It's a much more conducive to the life I want. So doing that a little bit more, not a ton, going in phases usually, but then I kind of start changing, and I kind of start having some different ideas. Then we moved to our country rental, and I start going through even more stuff. And I've got all this time driving and at work, so I'm listening to podcasts constantly. And I'm starting to look into health stuff, and I've always, wanted to be bigger and healthier, and just always plagued with malnutrition and eating garbage. But anyway, so I'm a hard gainer and I'm lazy. and then I start going down the food rabbit hole of gaining weight. Or sorry, not of gaining weight, but of health, and seeking health over gaining weight. And that led me down a rabbit hole of there's fluoride in the water, and fluoride's the main ingredient in Prozac. And Prozac's a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, an SSRI. And it's like the symptoms are the same. So all this stuff's kind of clicking, and I'm like, this stuff seems pretty important. Going down, finding Stoicism, finding Marcus Aurelius, Ryan Holiday. I haven't read his books. I'm not crazy about him. I don't know why. Seems like a great guy. Tons of knowledge. I should probably respect him a lot more. There's just something, though. I don't like his message for some reason. Anyway. So I'm kind of coming down these paths, coming down the religious path. I try some mushrooms. And it is like a new anxiety that has been there but I haven't known. It's like it just got the volume turned up. So then I meet some different parts of myself, parts of my shadow, and they're kind of like raw and up there. And then like a month later, so I'm like kind of have anxiety, and I'm probably smoking more weed. I think no alcohol. Yeah, so pretty big change because it's hard doing no alcohol stints. It's always really hard starting. It's hard getting sober off anything. So like 2 months of no alcohol, and about halfway through that, I kids in my class were like, "Oh, I took 100 milligram edible before class." Like, I don't know if they actually did or if they were fucking joshing me. I think they were joshing. But after class, it's like an 8-hour day. You go for the whole day. So after that day of class, I stopped by the weed store and I was like, I'm gonna pick up this 50 milligram edible, or pick up some edibles. And they had a Rice Krispie treat from like the firehouse, and I was like, how much of this should I take? I asked the guy, and he's like, probably like half, unless you want a really good time, then like the whole thing. I was like, all right. And I was like, I want a really good time. And I think I have a low tolerance for weed. Like it hits me. It hits me hard. So this edible rocked my world. Like I was convinced I was in hell, and I made all these connections with Hollywood and like right. I'm full schizo. Like I'm schizo. Schizo, but not. Like it's a weird state to be in, right? So, but I'm sick. I'm making all these connections, and I'm like throwing up because it's such a gut punch to who and what I thought reality was, that it was making me sick. So I'm going through all of these like quote unquote exceptions of reality, even if they maybe weren't. I think they gave space for a lot of stuff like that, because really most of them weren't very far off. Like it was all stuff I had kind of seen, and it was just pieced together more erratically. So, which we never do. We never bite the whole picture. We're only biting Epstein files. Oh, JFK. Like, it's like, yeah, but if you were to bite the whole picture of what's going on, it's sickening. It's disgusting. So you're sitting there disgusted, throwing up with your blank, with a towel wrapped around your head with a little bit of throw up in it, and you're shaking and you can barely move, and you're so high. It's just the worst experience ever. And anxiety is like turned up 10 times. Like it's constant. It's like every hour. As soon as I like come back to my awareness, I get hit in the chest, and I'm like, oh, like that didn't feel good. Oh fuck, I feel like shit all of a sudden. And it's like, just from coming to awareness, just from like realizing for a second that I exist, I'm like, oh, there's a gunch putt, a putt gunch, a gut punch. Let's put this on. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. So, I'm learning what anxiety feels like, and what the kind of the triggers are, and what the work throughs are. I'm going through all this, and then I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, I gotta fix this. Like, this is ruining my life. Like, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, I'm doing mushrooms again. I'm crazy. I'm diving back into the water. I'm going back in. And this time, my focus was surrender. And it was a focus of, I guess, finding that peace, seeing whatever I'm not seeing, allowing whatever I'm not allowing. So do that. And I don't think the anxiety went away right away. Shoot, it might have. But if it didn't, that was a house that I was able to get a small fortune of mushrooms, and I started microdosing. Not quite micro. I would take it in a lemon shot because it was fucking disgusting. And it would come on twice as fast and it would last half as long. And what I would do is I would put on some Robert Aceves, who it's basically just like positive reinforcement. And he's just like saying nice stuff like, I'm thankful for my spleen. It works so hard for me. But he's like saying it in a really nice way. He's like, I love my lungs. I love my heart. So just kind of listen to these different things. And taking in, this is a time where I'm interested in a lot of Hermeticism and the laws of the universe, and trying to align myself with these laws while unchaining myself from old beliefs. And this is very, very powerful ideas. So naturally life starts to change. Not really. It seems like it happens so slow, and I never thought it would. No, it hasn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. So I'm like crying in rivers and shit. We had a river in the back of our house, and I'm like drunk off my ass. Like the drunkest I've ever been. And this is probably like 2 years after this, or a year after that. Just like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. Like, we're never gonna be able to afford a house, and like, and like, just pleading to just about anybody that would listen. I'm trying to, through this whole time, I'm fighting with my parents. It started as one fight, and it went to, we couldn't find an understanding. We couldn't find a common ground understanding, and then everything became a fight. And so I did that. Like every holiday I would stay late. And I'm probably telling you this because I feel guilty. And like just recently, I just missed the first Thanksgiving I've ever missed. And I'm about to miss the first Christmas I've ever missed. And my sister died this year. And it's just like, it's so much weight to put on them. And I feel so bad. But I'm an asshole too, is the other problem. So it's like, why don't you kill me? Anyway, back to a little further back. I'm crying in a kayak. I'm fucking, like, I'm so drunk. Got to our house and I was drunk because we started up above and then floated down way past. And it was like 4 hours to go still. And I am like a roller coaster. And there's logs that you have to like portage or go under. And I'm dumping my kayak constantly and filling it with water. It was the most bruised up I've ever been. I was walking up the bank when we were getting out. It was like vertical. And so I grab the front of the kayak, or I bend it down. I go like this, and I just fucking tip over. Emily's just behind me fucking dying laughing because she's pretty much sober at this point because she's been dragging my ass through the river. And it was so embarrassing. It was Emily's dad and his girlfriend. Was so embarrassed. It's fucking hilarious. And then I went home and I was supposed to cook a tri-tip. The float was so much longer than it was supposed to be. And I might have started it. I'm pretty sure Emily cooked it. She's a fucking stud. So there's like secret changes or small, secret. Because it feels like every change is a little bit secret, a little bit of a secret. And then after it's been implemented for a while, then it reveals itself. So there's these secrets at work that I can't really see yet. I don't see the patterns. And I still don't see them. I'm not saying I'm on the right path, but I'm on this path. So, you know what? No, this is my path. I fucking love it. This is my path. I'm on this path. So I'm on this path, and we do a trip to Florida. I don't know why, but it was so influential. Oh, it was so influential because Emily and I decided that we were going to get sober. And so about halfway through the trip, uh, well, no, I decided I was going to get sober, and I think Emily kind of had to follow. So about halfway through that trip, I have one of those nights, one of the kayak nights, and it was my last hurrah. I was like, all right, this is like the last one. I'm tired of being not sober, tired of being this. So I take I take probably like 25 milligrams of edibles, and I had been like quite a bit more weed at that point. So yeah, I was like on the back porch, like howling, just fucking in Florida, like a key. We had neighbors and stuff, and just like, oh, fucking, boo, boo, you know, saying whatever I'm saying. I don't know what to do. It's not fair. Oh, I want to do this, but I'm stuck. Whatever, and then for I think 7 months, so end of February to November. So yeah, 7-ish to November. Yeah, yeah. It was probably 9 months, almost exact. So 9 months of sobriety, and then I in that time, in about May, we went on a horse trail. We're doing our sober thing. We're adventuring. It's fucking great. I should be sober again. Damn. Anyway, we saw a house over in La Pine, Central Oregon area, and we were like, huh, like that one. We had our eye on it, at an earlier point, but it was too expensive, and they had just lowered the price 70,000. We were like, ooh, like that's pretty good. We're like, all right, let's go check it out and maybe put an offer in, because I had started working for my dad's company, and they had me at a really good rate, and yeah, at that time Emily was working full time, so we were comfortable and super comfortable. It was great. So wait, maybe not. I've always been pretty bad with money. I don't think we were super comfortable, but we were. It was enough income that I could spend it and whatever. So we go on our horse camping trip. We leave from the horse camp to go check out the house, and the turbo boot blows off the truck. Something that's never happened before. We weren't even going that fast. So that was kind of weird. And I remember there was a lot of these, there's been a lot of these coincidences in my life where it's just weird. It's just weird. Just like, okay, these things are supposed to be, it's like a reminder that I'm not in control. So don't get attached to any idea. Don't get attached to any idea. So we're moving forward with this idea. Don't get attached to any idea. Long story short, we check out the house. It's trash. The bones are okay. It's a manufactured, but like it's old shitty carpet with 10 pounds of dirt in it, and it's nasty. There's garbage everywhere on the property. The water's pretty gross. So we're like, this is a lot of work. We put in our offer, and they countered with, like only like they split the difference basically. And we were like, oh, okay. So we were kind of like tentatively moving forward, and then during the house sale kind of inspections, things were popping up, and we were like, ooh, we're gonna need money for this and this and this and this, and got it down like another significant amount, like good chunk. So then it was like a doable deal, and we could live pretty comfortably. So we were stoked, and we were first. Then it's go time, right? Then you're running fast. So you're running, doing. We repainted the outside. I'll go through a list another day of what all we did to the house. But we're cleaning the house, getting it ready. We're trying to clean the old house. I'd say try because we didn't get all of it and I felt kind of bad. The old owners, man, they just by the end of it, they were boomers, and for some reason they don't want reason. You know, they're not men of reason. They're not, and really, he was a man of reason, but his wife wore the pants, and she was not a woman of reason, and so it was just a lot of unreason. A bill. So that was kind of the end um, of that chapter. We got a dog. That's when we got Fletcher. Basically, as soon as we got into the process of buying the house, Emily's like, "There's this dog over here," and it was like her birthday, like May, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna fucking get you this dog." So got the dog. He was actually born, I think, when we were in Florida. It's kind of funny timing there, but maybe like a week after. Anyway, so we get the house, moved in, June, July, working through the summer. It's kind of a slow summer for the company. It's really weird. And it's weird working with everybody. They're not, so my dad's company is really small and they're great. All super cool, great guys. It's more of like the people that they work with that there's just some lackluster, nobody really cares. And it's the main company that they work with. And it's kind of something I've been seeing through all of construction, so it definitely wasn't unique. But there's just like nobody cares, but like there's also this weird, not a weird pressure, but an obvious pressure of like the job has to get done. But I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff that I didn't like. And I really liked my house. So let's go home early. So I started going home early and working less. Like I was trying to work 30-hour weeks. And at the beginning in the summer, no. So I basically I want to be home more. I'm starting to decide like I want less pie, but I want less cake, but I want to eat it. I want to spend my time. I want to enjoy my time. Emily's basically stay at home full time now. She's missing me. So she's wanting more of my attention because she's not with her friends or with her colleagues at work, which were great for her. She worked at a great spot. She's still kind of working remote, but not the same. So working less. Winter comes through, November, and November comes, and I'm like, God damn, like this is just too stressful. And the problem is, it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. It isn't. It's all a bullshit fabricated stress of lackadaisical, waiting to the last minute, not caring until we have to. I just described myself. Yeah, it's my ADHD brain. But we weren't the ones behind, is the thing. Is the company we were working for is what I'm talking about. Is we would be done for weeks with something and they hadn't fired it up yet. And the other companies weren't like this. Like as soon as you had something done, it was fired up. Like same day. But they're like, no, we don't even have, they didn't have anything on their side done, basically. So we're going through all these jobs. We can't check anything. I'm leading another apprentice and I'm like brand new journeyman. I've never done this stuff. He's done it for a year. So he's got a way better idea of the specs of the job, what you can and can't do and when and where. And I've got general idea, but it's not fuck all. It's such a big scope and anyway. So I'm feeling like I'm drowning for no reason. I feel like I'm just drowning. Anyway, so I started drinking. And yeah, I remember the night exactly. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember the night. I remember picking up the alcohol, coming home to Emily. And my sister and her husband were over here, and they were both 22. Yeah, 21. And So then doing all that, they're over here. So then we start drinking with them, and we're kind of always hanging out with them. They're really great. We've been closest to them as far as like kind of close to siblings and whatnot. And, Michaela's husband Ryder is awesome, like nuts on a dog. Him and Emily are nuts on a dog too. Those two are classic, just instant classics. They're so good together. So really good quadro going. So we notice Emily missed her period, or whatever happens, however it happened. I was pretty in tune with her at that point. She'd been crazy, absolutely nuts. She was off her rocker, having child meltdowns, just emotionally very heightened. And it seemed like PMS, because her PMS can be pretty bad. But like extended, like for a month, it was like PMS. And I wasn't sure we were going to make it, honestly. It was pretty bad. I think she wasn't sure we were going to make it. So, like, we're fighting. And then I'm, working less and less and less. And the winter's been slow anyway. So there's hardly been enough work for like 20-hour weeks. So, and I don't mind that. Like, my dad and his business partner are workers. They are workers. They're good workers. They're hard workers. They are not men of mind necessarily. And anyway. I don't mean to get into that. I shouldn't have said that last part. They are men of mind. No, I just would rather have not said anything. So, but they don't like that I don't really want to work. And I really haven't wanted to work the whole time. Nothing against them, but it's heartless. There's no passion and I don't care about it. Neither did they. Neither did the people we were working with. So I'm drinking. I'm kind of pushing myself out of this area. My dad's pushing me out of the family. So we're going down this path. I'm going down this path. I'm pushing my dad away. He doesn't like it. He doesn't see it this way, I don't think. I think he doesn't understand why this is going on in my mind. I think he's just like, I just can't control him. And he's right, but there's, again, no compromise, no no space. So maybe it's supposed to happen this way. It's around May 1st? May 1st or April 1st. And I think it's, anyway. And I get in trouble for leaving early. We worked a half day, and I was like, we're out of here. They don't have any of our stuff. Like there's just nothing to do. We're dicking around. So I leave, and my boss sees me. So the other business partner, great guy, like not somebody, I wasn't ever trying to hide from them, but it definitely doesn't look good. So he sees me, and he's like, hey, what's up? Like, we need to talk. I was like, all right. So we go and have a talk. He's like, I think you need a month off. I was like, all right. Like, I think that's a great idea. I think a little bit of space, and a little bit of a breather would be really good. So I got to take the month off. Well, I do take the month off. And coming down towards the end of the month, it must have been April. March. No. Fuck. So I fought with my sister in March. Yeah. For her birthday. And I didn't fight with my sister. I got in a fight with Ryder. We were talking about this men of the mind and the brotherhood shit. And I decided to test him. And so I'm pushing. It's a pretty good story, probably. but pushing, and he's not budging. So we're back and forth, and I'm basically saying make me, and he's saying no, you do it. And that's kind of what it comes down to. So then I like put my hands on him a little bit, and he's like, that's too far. I think I like gave him a little slap because I was asking him to slap me basically. And there's too many details. Get into this fight, they're yelling. We try to patch it up come Monday, and we still can't see eye to eye. Like they can't see what I'm saying. And anyway, it's another long conversation. So we'd kind of been estranged, and it feels like it was about 2 months later. So probably in May, and the end of May 30th, my dad comes over and helps me level the lower field for the barn. And then he's packed up. I think he told me when he was getting ready to leave, or maybe midday. I don't remember exactly when he told me, but he's like, hey, like, we don't have enough work. We're gonna have to let you go. Or like, yeah, we're not bringing you back. I don't remember how he said it, but I was just like, okay. They had already gotten the van back in like the first week. I didn't know if they knew back then. I think it was like tentative. But so go through all that, and he goes over to Michaela and Ryder's. They have some burgers there, and then he goes, I think, back to Sun River. And my friends were over. They actually were pregnant probably the same day as Emily and I. Their baby was born one day apart. So there's kind of a weird connection with them. And so they're over, and we go to the river the next day. My dad heads home to his place in Eddyville, which is like 3.5, 4 hours away. 3.5 probably. So he goes home, and we're at the river. We do some cold plunges because it's cold as heck, and it's still probably too early in the season, but it's pretty nice. I mean, it's June, so probably 80 something degrees. We're heading back, and we pass a, I probably don't need to tell you all this right now. We pass a search and rescue car, and we're like, oh, that's weird, and see him where he turns in, and I was kind of slowing down and just curious and watching. So we get home, and home for probably 10, 15 minutes, and I get a call from my mom, and Kayla's missing at the river. So we're like, oh shit, okay, we'll go help look. And so we whip around and kind of set up. Friends take their Jeep, and we go down to where they were going to get out for their rafting trip. Long story short, Michaela drowned. They're in a really crazy spot to be going. They didn't know. And that's that. Lots of thoughts on that. That has provoked probably the next biggest change in my life. So that was the day after I was officially fired. Maybe it was longer. I think I was out of work longer than the month. It was like 2 months or something. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, puts the family in a weird spot. Where am I going even? What am I telling you my whole life story? I decided this isn't the life that I want. We just bought a house, and the cost to maintain it is becoming too large. I want to play a different game. I want to find something different to do. I want more freedom. More. And I'm willing to have less. But I want more time with my wife and my son, even if I have less. And you bet your ass I'm not going to go fucking rent. So I'm thinking a boat. Get the fuck out of here and go somewhere tropical. Go somewhere beautiful. Go somewhere new. Try to find beautiful people. People that can share in the love of life. That's my new journey in life, pretty much. Pretty much, I say, because right now it seems distant from what I'm actually doing. It's not in my life right now. I'm building a barn and flooring a house. And so much more. So much. Living day to day. I think it's a good time to walk about.